who is our global environment correspondent. So, of course, one of the most important things to talk about when it comes to the shortage of gas and oil, particularly liquefied natural gas, is just how much a country like India relies on it.
Pretty much. You see, like 60% of that gas is imported. And 90% of that import was from this region, through Strait of Hormuz, particularly Qatar. So now, because of in the wake of all this, you can imagine the disruption, the dependency on LPG. It was actually a smash hit story. India displaced all those dirty fuels over the past decade or so, kerosene, firewood, coal in households, and started using LPG, the cooking gas. But then because of that dependency, now it's an about turn. So the question is, how widespread and how long? Is it a short-term thing? Experts are telling me that if it is a short-term thing, it might be, then people will quickly go back to LPG gas even. But, it's not easy now to say, particularly because Indian government, on one hand, has been assuring and reassuring that there is no scarcity. But if you look at the street, if you look at people, what they're telling us, it's a different story. But also the Indian government is also telling us that it's now begun importing the same LPG gas from US all the way. Now, how quickly will that happen? You see, the figure that I'm getting is from Hormuz, 7 to 8 days, from the US, 45 days. That is what we're looking at.
And there's some real-term impacts here, because we've heard from restaurant owners who've had to cut things on the menu. We've also heard in other countries like Sri Lanka, not far from India, about how they're shutting down for the day on Wednesday every week now to try and conserve the fuel and gas and all of that. What other alternatives are being put into place? I mean, actually, we said in that introduction, it means people are reverting back to some of those dirty fuels.
Yeah, I mean, see, the thing is, again, it depends where you are. I mean, there are places where people might still be getting it. They're saying that they're getting it from black market, very high prices. Some people can't afford it and that kind of thing. As a result, what you're seeing is they've started using coal, for instance. You talked about eateries. Mumbai, I was looking at, in the streets, the stench, people are going to eateries, but the stench is so difficult, and they're saying that this is so unhealthy. And this is what experts are talking about. Indoor pollution is the main thing. Nitroxide, even PM2.5, PM10, these are those particulate matters that can enter our lungs or blood vessels. Very, very unhealthy. So that is why. And even if
so where are they coming from? Just to explain, that's because people are burning wood and coal more.
So kerosene, for instance, the government has released more kerosene because they had a stock, and they have released increased amount of kerosene. For firewood, the firewood depots have seen spike in sales. Of course, firewood, as you can imagine, India has its own resources. Again, the question is, what does that mean for forests? And coal, not to forget, that is the big thing. Indian government has an announced policy of going big on coal. They have a readily available resource. The fallback measure, even if they went for cooking stove, for example, would be coal, which India says it will be going big on that. And just yesterday, by the way, the power ministry said they are going back on a new power plant which will be using coal, 4,000 megawatts added. So you'll see this is where we are heading towards now.
OK, Naveen Singh Khadka, thank you very much.